Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is a matter of life and death, quite literally. It's about North Korea and Russia, and the reported exchange of food for weapons that could have dire consequences for global security. Let me paint a picture for you. North Korea is one of the poorest countries in the world, and its people have suffered from chronic food shortages for decades. In recent years, this has only gotten worse due to a combination of factors: poor weather, strict border controls, and international sanctions. North Korea's agriculture is heavily dependent on weather conditions, particularly rainfall. Over the years, the country has been hit by a number of natural disasters, including floods, droughts, and typhoons. These events can cause significant damage to crops and disrupt food production. North Korea is known for having some of the strictest border controls in the world. The government tightly regulates the movement of people and goods in and out of the country. This can make it difficult to import food and other supplies that are needed to sustain the population. It can also prevent farmers from accessing the resources they need to grow crops. The international community has imposed a number of sanctions on North Korea over the years, in response to the country's nuclear weapons program and other actions. These sanctions can limit North Korea's ability to trade with other countries and access the resources it needs to support its economy and feed its people. Meanwhile, Russia has been facing its own challenges. The country has been engaged in a war with Ukraine for years, and the Western sanctions that followed have significantly affected Russia's ability to replace used-up or destroyed weapons. This has forced Russia to turn to other countries to source weapons, including North Korea. So, what's the problem with this exchange of food for weapons? First of all, it violates UN Security Council resolutions that prohibit the sale, transfer, or provision of weapons to North Korea. These resolutions were put in place to prevent North Korea from developing its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, which pose a threat to regional and global security. If Russia is engaging in illicit arms trading with North Korea, it's not only violating international law but also putting the world at risk. Furthermore, this exchange suggests that Russia is willing to flout international sanctions and engage in illegal activity. This is not the first time that Russia has been accused of supplying arms to North Korea. The US has previously claimed that North Korea supplied weapons to the Russian military in Ukraine and the Wagner group of Russian mercenaries. The fact that Russia is still willing to engage in such activities despite the risks and potential consequences is deeply concerning. Now, let's talk about what this means for the people of North Korea. The exchange of food for weapons may provide some temporary relief for the country's food shortages, but at what cost? North Korea is an authoritarian state, with one of the most oppressive and repressive governments in the world. The weapons that North Korea receives from Russia could be used to further its military ambitions or to suppress its own people. This is not a trade that should be taken lightly. While the reported exchange of food for weapons between North Korea and Russia is a concerning development that violates international law and could have dire consequences for global security. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest news and analysis.